everybody, Sandy here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a showcase walkthrough of my most recent creative team project for Country Craft Creations. I'm excited to show you this design. This is a stand-up recipe album that I created using Country Craft Creations' exclusive paper collection called What's Cooking that you can only order from countrycraftcreations.com. So you want to check this out. If you love retro and you love recipes, you're going to love this album. This one is, I'm holding it because it's a stand-up so that you can see the front. It measures about 7 inches, just a little over 7 inches wide, and it also is 7 inches tall, and it does have a 3.5 inch spine here on the bottom. Now, this is the front. It has a magnetic flap closure. It does stand up like this. On the back, I have large photo corners for your recipe card if you want to insert whatever you're cooking at the time. I have here where it says What's Cooking, and then you just slide this in like this, and you can stand it up and you can actually see the recipe here on the back while you're cooking. Then you can open this up, and this is where you would store your recipes. This lays down flat. Now it's really long. I'm not able to probably get it all quite in my frame of my camera, but it has what I call three main pages. And then what's unique about each page, it has the inserts. Now I'm using paper clips because it's cost effective. If you wanted magnets on every flap and page, you could do that, but it would be a lot. And I like the magnets because it can hold the recipe cards in. Now this recipe card is attached to the flap, but I did make a flip down. Now this was the first one I made, and I did use a magnet, and then I decided later on I would show you how to make it without a magnet. But here on the first one, it does have a magnet, but you can flip it down so that you can write on this one in the book, and then you can also, see it to cook by. So this comes completely out. So you could actually stand this up and see your recipe that you're cooking. Now you have one on the back. You could do the same, just like that. So that's one flap. Then when you take the flap out, you have a removable recipe card with the large corners that I make in during the decorating. And then this one flips back, and you have another flap here. And these are, because the design of the album are upside down, so they do not stand up. But you could utilize these by clipping them onto the front of the album with a paper clip or a clip and still be able to see them while you're cooking. So that's how the flaps work. And this one also has a recipe here that you can take out. So both of these flaps are left plain on one side, and then I have a little pocket for extra cards in here. So there's a lot of storage. So this one, and as I said, this is the flap where I did not use a magnet. So it does lay down. The weight of the vintage button kind of holds it down, and you can pull this flap back and write on your recipe card. So not all of them are attached into the book. Some are not. If they're on a flap, they are. So this one, the reason this is upside down was, for me, when you flip it down like this, it looks correct. You can do it whichever way you want to. And this one goes in here like this. And then I just use one paper clip to hold this whole section down. And these are going to be done the same. So as you see here, I use a lot of vintage buttons. This one had a little piece of fabric still attached to it, so I just used that in there. These are all made the same, except for, let me take this out. Inside this one, I did add a pocket to the page, each page, and I have recipe cards in the main page. And then this one does have the pocket on the inside as well. So those attach back inside this second one. So we have 3 main pocket pages, and on the outside of each one of these flaps we have the vintage buttons. This flips down so you can write, as well as this one flips down so you can write on it. Now these is done in the decorating. I will probably do a show and tell video that shows, so I can tell you how I did it and maybe briefly show you. I don't actually do all the decorating in on the video, on the tutorial. So this one here is a little bit different. Take this clip off. Inside, I did pieced. This is a good place for photos on both of these, and then the back, I just had the decorative part glued on at the back. So both of these are done the same here on the inside. This flips down, of course, and then this one flips down. So that's this particular flap in the main page. Just catching that right there. Okay, then the back side is a staggered from the bottom waterfall. This does have a magnetic closure in it, but I also use a clip because mine got a little too chunky. So in the cutting guide, not in the tutorial, but in the cutting guide, and I will do a screen correction on the actual video of the tutorial, I'm going to extend this for you so it's you have more length, and then I'm going to make a 1/2 inch space here on the side so that your magnets will catch. But I kind of like the paper clip too, and the magnets kind of help hold it down. So that opens up like that, and all of these are waterfall, double waterfall flaps, I guess you would call them. So the cards are held in. They're just, this is just decorative. It doesn't bend back. So these all slide out so that you can take them out of your book. And then all of these flip down, and each one has a recipe card. Now these are some that I had purchased. I had 2 packs of 50. I messed 2 or 3 of them up. So I probably got about 45 cards in this recipe book. So they're all like that, because here in the back to the waterfall, I made this little pocket back here. So I have lots of extra cards back in here in the back in a pocket. Now then, let me show you these waterfall flaps. When you unclip them, this is going to open up like that. So you actually have more space on the inside. I haven't put anything because I don't know exactly. You can put, I wanted to leave it for an option for photos. I think it'd be really nice to have photos maybe of the food or of your special relative or whoever friend that gave you the recipe. So you could put photos here on the inside. And that is my purpose for it, is to have some photos in there. So each one of those has those inside flaps for your waterfalls. Okay, and then I decided I wanted to make this a little different. It stands up so that you can attach recipe cards to the outside. Let me see if I can do this. I reversed it also, so you have to make this sticking out. Let's see here, and pick this up. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Oh, I forgot to show you. Sorry about that. This is also made so that you can close this with one out and then stand this up like that, if that's what you wanted to do. So this holder piece here, closure flap, will hold the others in place while you have 1 or 2 that are out. Okay, so that's another feature I thought that could be helpful while you're cooking. I see when I lay it down flat, the magnets catch, but I still want to make sure I have that paper clip in there, because sometimes when it stands up, it decides, oh, I'm going to pop open. So I made it reversible for the stand-up part. I have to remember how you do it. So you turn this over, bring this up. We're going to turn this around. So we have this page. The pages are sticking out front. I know it's a little bulky here, so you might not like that. It's kind of fiddly. But then you have your waterfalls here. You bring the cover in the back, bring it up, so it's reversed. This is the inside of the album that is now on the outside, so that you can actually see this part here if you wanted to. So that's in there. I'll show you where to put the magnets to make it do that, so that you can reverse it this way if you wanted to and have it standing on your counter. So that is, let me bring it back. Bring it back around like this. This is the correct outside of it. and it closes like that. And then this little card can go in here with a recipe on it. And of course, you can store this extra one inside of your album. So that is my stand-up recipe album that I designed for Country Craft Creations creative team using their exclusive paper collection called What's Cooking. Now, I did use one collection pack. I used the red Artisan Cardstock, which I used 18 sheets of that. I used one sheet of white where I needed some accents of the 12 by 12 Artisan white. And then you do need 2 sheets, at least 8.5 by 11 of the Heavy Weight Chipboard to bring it together. So I will have a tutorial for this, so watch for that. But we will have a tutorial on making the album, the basic construction, which includes putting the pattern paper on, because I put it on as I make it. It does not include any of the decorating, which is the different little flaps here, adding different elements like that. So that is not included, but I think if I have the time, I will do a show and tell decorating video where I will kind of go through this in more detail, show you what I've done, and show and tell you how to do it yourself if you want to. A lot of people like to do their decorating on their own, so there's no need to have that in the tutorial, but I can have maybe a separate one for those of you who are interested. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out countrycraftcreations.com and all their exclusive papers. They also carry other paper lines, not just their own, but you want to check it out at countrycraftcreations.com for your adhesives, such as your art glitter glue and your Scor-tape, your Artisan Cardstock, and other elements that you might want. The magnets, they have the magnets, and you're going to need some magnets for this. So check all that out. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would so appreciate it if you would. And when you do, click on that bell and you'll be notified when I have the tutorial uploaded. So every time a video uploads on my channel, it will notify you. So again, thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.